Okay, so this is day 3 of the trip and we're at the hotel right now. So this is typical buffet setup of hotel in Sweden that only costs us 67 euros. So they have all kinds of breads and biscuits, scrambled eggs and sausages, baked beans, like English breakfast. We have the drink session, some fruity water, more pastries, coffee, milk. And this is just the cafe. So it's pretty good, pretty comprehensive, and it's of course European fare as you would expect. Some liver pate, some very nice looking butters, ham, salamis, cheeses, and there's probably like this like a salad section with a nice cottage cheese and a little bit of fruit and granola. So pretty simple fare, but it definitely shall suffice. So with one hand I can't grab my food, so I'm just gonna end this right here and grab my food. And I don't think I'm gonna do a review because it's gonna be just your typical breakfast in the hotel. Okay, so we just finished breakfast and we're starting off with day 2, and now we're just gonna head out the hotel. And today we're gonna explore the old town in the daytime with daylight so that we can actually see all the beautiful architecture of Sweden. So we're gonna take a train ride there, and it's gonna take us about 15 minutes or so because we bought the day pass for the train. Actually, transport within the city is also very affordable. 10 euros for a day pass. Yeah, you can see it, all trains, all buses. So combine it with a bit of walking and you get to see this lovely city at a very, very affordable price. So the trees are naked still. They'll be naked until summer perhaps. And these are just some apartment blocks that are beside our hotel. Skies are lovely and clear today, nice and sunny. And these blocks, these blocks seem really dated, but they still have a pretty classic kind of architecture with a small little balcony. So we decided to take the bus instead of the train because we took the train yesterday, and with the bus you can actually see more of the streets of Stockholm. So here it is. It's a very nice and relaxing journey, and the buses around Europe are all pretty similar, and yeah, nice views with a nice comfortable short bus ride to the old city. Okay, so we have just gotten off the bus and it is so lovely to be pretty near the old city. I have no idea where we are because I'm just here for a day. I didn't do much research, and wow, just take a look at the architecture behind me and the historical monuments, and I don't know who these are, probably kings or something. I can't read Swedish, but it's really, really beautiful here. And I'm just gonna turn around and see 360-degree view of beautiful architecture and monuments. So if you guys are into this whole cultural thing, Sweden is definitely the place for you, and it definitely delivered. Just take a look at this. Clear blue skies, really, really good place for taking photos and stuff. And you can see all these Asian tourists taking too many pictures, like so. And really, really beautiful morning to do some sightseeing. So the weather is really perfect today for going out to explore. The sun is not hot because it's -2. As you can see, the river, alright, or this waterway down here, actually there's a lot of ice sheets floating around, so I think it's only starting to melt. But we did pass one of the rivers just now where the entire river was actually still frozen. So that's the kind of weather you expect in Sweden in March. Wow, just coming up close to the building right now. You can see that all these are really, really dated and like probably, I don't know, hundreds of years old. So again, I didn't do much research before I came, but I'm just here to take in the sights. You know, you can look at the textures and the colors and everything. It's absolutely awesome experience. And for a really low budget, I didn't travel with much budget for this trip. I think it really is really a bang for my buck. and you get to see all these lovely historical architectures and stuff at a very low cost. So you guys should come and do it right now, because as we travel around Europe, and when I was coming from Singapore, you can really feel that world travel is actually coming back right now. And if you don't travel now, by the time the skies really truly opens up, it's gonna be jam-packed with tourists and stuff. So I think like in the next 1-2 months will be like the best times to travel. So as we're walking, we managed to find a river that I was telling you guys about earlier that is frozen. So here it is, and you can see that half the river or half of the ice has yet to melt yet. But I don't really feel that cold at all. In fact, I think it's just kind of like cooling for me. I don't know, maybe I just came from a tropical climate and I'm very appreciative of having this very nice cool weather. So check out the view right here. So we're still walking towards our destination because it's quite a long walk. But along the way I found that, wow, a lot of these buildings look like they are like conserved, and they probably have been here for hundreds of years. If you can see all these architectures and whatnot. And even the roads are like, I don't know, what do you call these? Stone pavements? And the thing that impresses me is that they're all very well kept. Like the condition of the gates and everything is really well kept, and seems that these more historical looking buildings, they don't actually suffer from any graffiti. So I guess the local people kind of respect these older buildings, but you do see some graffiti on like the walls near the subway and all that. So right now we are at the parade square of the Royal Palace, I believe it is. Right, check out the architecture, it's fantastic. Right, and again, there's never a better time to visit than in March, where it's not too cold and it's still not hot yet. And wow, I'm just gonna show you guys up close how beautiful and majestic these buildings are. Just gonna go a bit closer and show you guys the texture of the walls. You know, they've probably been here for like hundreds of years as well, and as you can see, it's really well maintained. And of course, there's a little barricade so that we can't touch or vandalize any of the buildings. So I'm just gonna walk past this handsome looking guard here, and he's been keeping really still for the duration that I've been here. And this is a guard standing outside the palace doing his guard duty. Like, so this is probably the entrance behind me. Really nice and tall entrance, fit for royalty obviously. And here's some information that I dearly need. Alright, so this here is the Royal Palace as I suspected it was. And according to this, it has been here probably since, I don't know, 1697 or something. Some of the information is not in English, so I'm just really here for the sights, the smell, you know, and to experience the culture a little bit. And I guess this is part of experiencing the culture, so I'm just going to bring you guys to the last part right here, which is the parade square. And they have the old school artillery, the cannons in front of the palace like most palaces would have. And this is it. It's got the Swedish emblem on the front, like so. Right here is one of the cannons of maybe 4. Right, so there are like 4 cannons right out here. And there's another armed guard standing in front of this monument here. Some more military personnel back in their camo uniform. And yeah, but other than that, it's a pretty quiet day today. So we're gonna make our move to the next location right now. But I've enjoyed looking at the exterior of the palace. So this is kind of like another place just pretty near the palace, and in this little city square, I believe it is, you can actually observe the old monuments from God knows when, probably a couple of hundreds of years to 1,000 years, and the stone pavements are still the same. They're absolutely lovely. I believe this is a water fountain that dispenses water at one point of time, and it's not on right now obviously, but wow, just check out the structure, absolutely beautiful. So apart from the old monuments like the water fountain at the back, you can observe some of the very traditional Swedish architecture for their buildings. Typically they are about 1 to 6 stories high, or maybe it's like 5 plus an attic. So just take a look at the buildings behind me. They're so gorgeous and so pretty. The colors are so beautiful and vibrant, and the style of architecture, you can see that people of that era really put so much thought into the architecture process. And I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit different from like modern architecture these days. I think this form of architecture definitely has a lot more soul and a lot more style that is really evergreen, right? These can be here for another couple of 100 years and they will never go out of style. So really different than the modern architecture that kind of like gets dated within like 20-30 years, just like those apartments that were near my hotel. Okay, off we go to the next location. So we are walking into this little alley here, and this little alley here has little businesses that sells little trinkets like this. They sell little winter wares. On the opposite, there's like a restaurant that looks really cozy, and again, these buildings here are probably very historic, and you can see the character even though the paint is peeling and all that. Check out this architecture. So again, it's really nice and has got like a lot of character in it. Check out all these doors. It's not just your factory made doors, these are probably like hand carved, and you can see right up to the handles. The detail of the architecture here is really fascinating. And this is the building. Again, it's typically about 4 to 5 stories high. What an experience. Really, I think Sweden, if there are any Swedes watching this vlog, you guys have really delivered. The culture, the food, the architecture, and just the cultural experience has been amazing. Even though I'm only here for about 24 hours, I've already experienced your country so much. Okay, entering the church right now, or the church compounds right now, and you can see again, wow, just check out the architecture, right? It's just truly amazing, super majestic. I'm just gonna try to go to the courtyard so I can get a better shot of the church for you guys to experience as well, from the comforts of your mobile phones or your desktops or laptops. Not too many people here as well, very quiet day. And of course, the church compounds are very nicely kept and maintained as well, right? Being a religious place. So as we were leaving the church and we were walking in the same beautiful alleyways again, you just can't get sick of them. I saw this little balcony over here just popping out of nowhere from this building, and again, it's so cute, right? If with us speaking, I was just talking to my nephew, if you own a property here and you do an Airbnb business, easily you can get like 150 euros a night. So it's really a lovely place, and for the people who rent like their Airbnbs in this area, you definitely won't regret it because it's just so cozy and you feel so at home. So it's really a different feel than the hotel we are staying at, but no complaints, right? 67 euros at our hotel with that big breakfast. It's also a good bargain, but just a different experience altogether. Okay, so here's another pit stop. So again, as we're walking down the alleys, so as you can see, there are some pigeons and some little swallows or little sparrows down here. And in fact, if you can see, they have actually left bird feed in the bushes. Right, so they have actually left bird feed in the bushes so that the little sparrows and other birds can have a little meal down here. So I'll go up front and you can see, these are the bird feeding stations that they have left right there. And all of them have ran up for refuge from me. But yes, so you can see that it's a really nice place for you guys to hang out. If you walk and you get tired, not to worry. They have all these benches, as you can see, in these little gardens that you can take a rest. And yeah, I'm gonna continue my little wee walk to the monuments in the front of these buildings right here. So follow me. Okay, so from the alleyways we have walked across towards the waterway, and as you can see, the lifestyle here is really good. They have like little boats and yachts on the river, and as you can see across, it really has like really nice like museum-ish kinds of architecture, and you can see it's really 360 degrees of beautiful views and architecture, right? So you can just, I'm just gonna slowly turn around so that you guys can just take a look and experience in and take in all the experiences of Sweden. If you guys don't have the chance to come by here anytime soon, which you really should if you have the opportunity, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Just gonna walk on. On this end, we have all the hotels, which is actually facing the riverfront, which is really nice. Sweden has definitely delivered way beyond what I expected of Sweden. So architecture, food culture, affordable accommodation, transport, and even wildlife in the winter. So freaking awesome. Okay, so we have explored the city for about 2.5 hours right now, and we are on the way back to the hotel because we have to catch our train to Copenhagen, Denmark in the afternoon. So we're leaving the city now. Hope you guys have had a good experience with us walking around the city. And this is the train station here in the city center, and it's just beside this really nice historical building over here. And you can see this is the train station, and wow, even the train station actually looks like it's got some historical value. I'm not sure if this is an old monument, but probably not. And getting into the warm train station right now. You thought you lost me?
Yeah.
The tour guide was walking too fast, and then I was trying to vlog on the outside of the train station, trying to show you guys how culturally beautiful even the subway looks in Sweden. So it's coming back right down now, and we're heading back to the hotel.
Thank you. The energy here very deep.
Yeah, you can see. So the subway here really goes down super duper deep. So this escalator right down the subway would take about maybe almost 30 seconds to a minute. As you can see, it's super deep underground. I don't know why they do that, but perhaps it's got something to do with protecting the buildings on the surface, because where I'm from, Singapore, our subways do not go down this crazy deep, right? So I realized that most of Europe, their subway goes down super duper deep. Okay, so we are right now at the bottom of the escalator of the subway, and this is the city subway. Is another subway that is really funky. Check out this architecture behind me right now. So I'm just gonna walk backwards and let you guys have a view of it. It is super funky. So we previously had the photo of us taken in the one that looks like an Armageddon, because the roof was all painted red. And this one is, it looks like a ancient city, ancient Roman city. Check this out. And you can see this little Roman inspired statue down here. And I'll show you guys on the other side as well. So let's see. Okay, so they have this little Roman bath looking thingy, and they have like some Colosseum looking artifacts. Obviously these are not real, but it's really interesting that you have a subway that looks like this. And as you can see, all their subways have different themes. Kind of reminds me of the Estonian airport that actually has all the different themes at their boarding gates as well. And yes, that's a tour of the subway. This scary looking Greek mythology looking thingy down here. and it's just fantastic, right? So this city really has a lot of soul and life, and look at this. They even have like natural cave structures here. I think it's just a leak, but yeah. Oh, but they have actual moss growing on the walls of the subway. That's pretty funky as well. Okay, so we've just arrived at our hotel, and this is the view of the hotel's exterior. And this is what 67 euros gets you in Sweden, Stockholm. This is a view of our room that is really messy right now. I should have done this video when we just checked in, but it's a really small room. And give you guys the mandatory toilet tour. So this is the toilet with a shower. Very basic. It's got this towel dryer thing, which is really cool. And we're now doing our last minute charging and packing up, and we're getting ready to go to the train station because we have a 6-hour train to Copenhagen, Denmark. Right, so 24 hours in Sweden. It has been great. So I'll see you guys at the train station, and I'll probably just take you guys a tour around the train station as well before we head out to Denmark. Okay, so just want to show you guys how to save a little bit more money. So you don't really have to buy bottled water in places like Sweden. You can just carry this foldable water bottle. So it basically unfolds into a 700 ml bottle. And I'm going to fill up now with just tap water because it's drinkable. And then we're going to use this water on the way to Copenhagen on the train that's going to take 6 hours. Like so. And you just cap it, and you're gonna have 700 ml of water along your journey. So if you're hiking or whatsoever, you can just bring this little water bottle along. Back out on the streets. So I thought as I just walk along the way, I'll give you guys a little bit more travel tips. So I hope you like the water bottle tip in the last segment. And right now I'm gonna share with you guys about like the backpacks that you can buy. So there are many different brands, and I researched for about a month before making this trip, and I bought a different bunch of bags and spent a truckload of money buying backpacks to test in Singapore because I wanted to use them before I actually embarked on a trip with them, because you never know, right? So with bags and shoes especially, you should actually wear them in your home country for at least 2 to 3 weeks before deciding to travel with them, because they might be, you know, made for that particular form of travel, but when you go there you might get blisters on your legs and all that. So it's really necessary to test out the kind of gear that you use for travel. So right now I just want to share with you about this backpack that I'm wearing. I'm not sponsored. It's by this company called Osprey. This model is the 30-liter Porter series, and it's really ergonomic and has a very good back support. So even though I'm walking around with 10 kilos on my back, it doesn't really feel as heavy as 10 kilos. And there's these little chest stripes down here which really elevates. So if you just pull it down a bit, you can really feel that it elevates all the tension that the bag actually gives you on the upper back, right? And they have this little waist stripes as well that I don't have on. That one provides a little bit more support on the bottom. So these little support systems here provide really good ergonomics for your posture and your comfort while you're walking around, right? So if you are on my Facebook, I posted yesterday that we actually walked about 20,000 steps, or just above 11 kilometers, exploring 2 countries. So yeah, you want to be as comfortable as you can. So yeah, that's a bag tip for you. Anything more than 30 liters will be a bit too heavy to walk around with. I know some bloggers actually recommend the 40-liter model, which would probably add another 2 to 3 kilos on your back. Not too bad, depending on your fitness level, but at my age and my fitness level, I'm pretty comfortable with the 30-liter. Okay, approaching the train station soon. Okay, just arrived at the Central train station, and this is the place that we're gonna board our train. That's gonna take 6 hours to bring us to Copenhagen, Denmark. And yeah, my nephew is just freaking way ahead of me, so it's really hard to be vlogging and following someone. I'm literally out of breath right now. Okay, this is the departure information. And yes, travel is in full swing in Europe. There's a truckload, or rather a train load of people here. And yeah, it's a mask off policy, as I've posted on my Facebook. And yeah, it might be a shock to some of you guys who are still living in countries that have a mask on policy. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off the camera and try and catch my train without any delay. Okay, so we are now at the security checking area of the train station. No lah, it's just a supermarket. Okay, so we are on our track right now, which is track 14, and there's some information here. So for my case, of our case, we have to transfer at a station called Hässleholm. Alright, so you have to board on the right train track, otherwise you're going to a totally different country. So we spent 24 hours in Sweden. It was totally fun, totally great, and I would definitely bring my family back to Sweden for a short trip here. Right? Probably it takes about 3 to 4 days to cover the entire city and to really soak in the culture. So see you guys on the train.